A referendum will be held on Thursday, June 23, to decide whether Britain should leave or remain in the European Union. Here's EBC correspondent Vee Sison.
The United Kingdom is poised to make an important decision in the next day. The EU referendum landmark public vote will decide whether the United Kingdom will continue to stay in or out of the European Union. The last EU referendum vote was in 1975. The marriage has not been smooth, some may even say it was a rocky one. Prime Minister David Cameron promised to hold one if he won the 2015 general election, in response to growing calls from his own Conservative MPs and the UK Independent Party, UKIP, who argued that Britain had not had a say since 1975 when it voted to stay in the EU in the previous referendum.
What you're going to have to get used to, all of you, is the idea that across the political spectrum there are now more Eurosceptics in this Parliament than there have ever been, and many of them do not subscribe to ever closer union. They don't subscribe to that flag. They don't want "I won't be here." All right.
It is time for the British people to have their say. It is time for us to settle this question about Britain and Europe. We will give the British people a referendum with a very simple in or out choice: to stay in the European Union on these new terms or to come out altogether.
So here's a summary of the main issues from both parties. Immigration. EU Remain say immigration is crucial to the economy. EU migrants need skilled workers for our different industries. Whereas EU Out or Brexit say we can no longer control our borders and there are too many immigrants coming in. Security. EU Remain say UK is safer inside Europe, with more cooperation with the European counterparts. While EU Out say a Paris-style attack is more likely, as we cannot stop terrorists coming in because we have no control over our borders. Jobs. EU Remain say over 3 million jobs are tied in with the EU, so why leave and risk those jobs and income? EU Out say there will be a jobs boom, especially for business holders, as it's not tied up with EU regulations. Trade. EU Remain say 45% of UK trade with the EU markets have access and have no barriers. Whereas EU Out say UK will have a stronger hand in negotiations, new trade deals with other countries. The City. EU Remain say we are currently dominating the financial markets, but big investments will move out of the London market if Brexit goes ahead. EU Out say the City is a global power base and deals with countries around the world. They will come to us. Sovereignty. EU Remain say it's better to be at the table to lead negotiations than be outside. We can input into laws that will affect the UK. EU Out say Britain will no longer have to abide by laws created in Brussels.
I believe we are stronger, safer and better off inside a reformed European Union. And that is why I'll be campaigning with all my heart and soul to persuade the British people to remain in the reformed European Union that we have secured today.
Politicians in the same party are divided. Even the ruling Conservative government are publicly split, with Prime Minister David Cameron wanting the UK to remain, while Boris Johnson, the former London mayor, wants the UK to leave, as well as Nigel Farage, a vocal and famous advocate of Brexit.
The EU, they say, the EU, it's crap, but we have no alternative. That's what they say. That's their line. Well, my folks, I'm afraid we do have an alternative. We do have an alternative. It's a glorious alternative.
There has never been such a vote to divide a nation, even families. Rachel Johnson, Boris's sister, is campaigning with the Remainers, as well as his father, Stanley Johnson, who believes the UK is better remaining in Europe. This type of in-your-face political style assault has never been experienced on such a grand scale within the United Kingdom. Confusing, contradictory, fear-mongering, institutionally racist, and even deadly. Celebrities have pledged their support. So Michael Caine supports Brexit, or out of the European Union. Keira Knightley and David Beckham are on the Remain side. Even the US President Obama urges UK citizens to remain, while Russian President Vladimir Putin and US Republican candidate Donald Trump are saying the UK is better to exit.
The United States wants a strong United Kingdom as a partner, and the United Kingdom is at its best when it's helping to lead a strong Europe.
I want to show that if you love this country, if you want to keep it strong in the world and keep our people safe, our membership of the EU is one of the tools that helps us to do these things.
What I'm talking about is what is going on now, and it is deeply anti-democratic.
The EU referendum vote is crucial not only to the United Kingdom, but the world is watching, with other economies around the world money markets, with effects being felt in America, the Middle East and Asia. From presidents to newspapers, business directors to school children, everybody has an opinion and everybody has declared a side.
One thing is for sure, the vote will happen on the 23rd of June, and by the next day, the divided kingdom will know if we are in or out of the European Union. Reporting from Trafalgar Square here in the United Kingdom, I'm Vee Sison for Eagle News.